tutorial will be learning how to sew a queen hand neckline corset, cupped corset. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we are going to do is to draft our basic pattern. You know that's the foundation of everything. We'll draft our basic pattern. So I'm working with shoulder line, with shoulder of 15 inches divided by 2, that is 7.5. 7.5 plus half sewing allowance, that is 8 inches. Then the neck width of we are working with the neck width of 4 inches. Sorry, I'll be working with neck width of 3.5. Okay, so come down on the shoulder line by 1 inch. All right, so we'll connect it to get our shoulder slope. Most of the time I try to explain the basic pattern in each of my videos for those that are beginners among us. All right, so from the shoulder slope I will measure my armhole length, which is 7.5 inch. Okay, to get a straight line, whatever measurement is here will be the same here. Okay, which is 8 inches. So I will rule the line. All right, so to get our proper armhole, to get our armhole curve, we'll divide the armhole length by 2, which is 3 3/4. I'll go in by 1/2 inch. Then I'll connect the lines. Okay, so then I'll go to my circumference measurement. I'm working with waist of the round waist of 38 inches, but it is snatched by 4 inches. So I'm working with 34 inch, but the round waist of 34 inches now. 34 divided by 4, we have 8.5. 8.5. Okay. I won't be adding that because it is a dartless corset. All right. So I'll move to my to the round hip. The round hip is 43 divided by 4. I will be having 11 3/4. I'll mark that as well. All right. So go back to our neck. The neck length. So for now, let us mark out the neck length of 7 inches because it's a sweetheart. Okay. So let's just leave it at V for now. Okay. So now we'll come to these are neck length, the depth of our neckline. So from there, we will come down by 1/2 inch more. I'll come down by 1/2 inch more. Okay. But if you so wish, you can still make use of the neck depth. Okay. But I decided to go down a bit. So 1/2 inch more. Okay. So I'll come in by 1/2 inch as well. Okay. So this is where our bra cup will be starting from. All right. So now I'm working with a cage bra cup. This is a cage bra cup. But if you are not working with a cage bra cup, you can make use of the already made bra cup. Okay. So it's still the same thing, but I am working with a cage one. So if you want to know how I make this cage bra cup, you can check the link in the comment section. I'll drop it there. Okay, so you have the exact and very strong and stable bra cup. Okay, so whichever one, either a caged one or the already made, you will place it. Sorry, before then, let's mark out our that point. Our bust pan is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So we'll mark that on the under bust and on the down part as well. So it's just to guide us. This is our under bust. This is our waist. And this is our bust line. Okay. So now, how you will you be placing this? You have to place, make sure the tip is starting from here. The down part of it is laying here. So this is how you will be placing it. So as it is, I won't be making use of this place because the cup is already beneath, is lower than it. Okay. And most especially, my client wants this yoke area revealing. So it is very much okay me leaving it this way. Okay, so let's just go ahead and mark. So since this is the spot it will be starting from, I would rather mark my ½ inch here. I'll be placing it this way. Remember, this is my ½ inch where I'm starting from. I'll place it just this like this. If you're making use of your cage bra, please don't calculate this your sewing allowance with it. I can't fold it. It is properly placed. Okay, then I'll connect my lines like that. You just have to be careful when you are rolling it. Okay. Just make sure you are getting it well. I'm folding up my ½ inch so it won't get on the line. So likewise, the top. All right. So this is what we are having. I carefully mark it out. But if you are making use of an already made bra cup, it's very much easier. Okay, so this is what we are having. So at this point, let's quickly finish up our basic pattern. Okay, so I'm working with round armhole of 20 inches divided by 2, that's 10 inches. Okay, then round waist of 34, like I said, 8.5, which we have marked out, 8.5, and we have also marked out the hip. So we'll connect. Right, so don't mind the paper tape. I made a mistake there. I couldn't identify the waist line. Okay, so I'll connect the lines now. Okay, so this is what we are having now. So this is our shape now. So we won't be misled. Let me use a marker to trace this out. All right. So likewise the armhole. Okay, so now I'll move. I'll go up by 3 inches here for our basque. I'll go up by 3 inches. Then I'll connect it. Then the sewing allowance of 1/2 inch. All right. So this is what we are having now. So from here, I'll add my sewing allowance of 1/2 inch. Let's connect. Okay. So we move to here. So this will be our yoke. We'll align our yoke now. You connect it downward. You follow the shape below the armhole. Please don't follow this line. You are not connecting it to the armhole directly. Follow the shape downward. Okay. All right. So this is our yoke. It is from the yoke we will now extract our queen hand. So here I'll from the armhole I'll come out by 2.5 inch, 2.5 inch. So you connect it. It depends. You can make it straight or you can make use of the curve shape. Okay, so it is still the same. So here we had our sewing allowance. All right. So we won't be making use of this neckline again. I only did it to guide us. So what I have highlighted now is what we are making use of. So this is the front. Then since we are through, you add your sewing allowance. I'll be making use of 1.5 inch sewing allowance. All right. So this is what we are having. Let us move to the back now. So let's move to the back. This is my chest line, and this is the half length. Half length. Why this is the sewing allowance. Okay. So to start with, I will start with my zipper line. So I'll go in here by half inch. All right. Then I'll connect it. Okay. So now the zipper line 1.5. I'm making use of 1.5 inch. I've already slanted it. Okay. We'll connect it. All right. So our shoulder 8 inches. 15 divided by 2, 7.5 plus half inch sewing allowance 8 inches. And we are working with neck width of 3.5 inch. Okay. You come down by 1 on the shoulders for the shoulder slant. Connect it. You extend this by 8.5 and 7.5 inch. Okay. The back armhole doesn't need a curve, so you are free to connect directly. Okay. So now I want to retake the half length. The back is going to be zipper because some of you may be wondering, a corset having this one is zipper. It has a hidden corset lacing inside, which will be drafting that separately. All right. So, but this is a zipper back that will be covering up the lacing of the corset at the back. Hope you understand that. Okay. So that's why we are doing this. So the back length is 15.5 inches. Okay. So I'll be marking 15.5 inches. It's 15 inches. That's plus half inches. That make what makes it 15.5 inches. So this is it. And I'll be connecting it to the sewing allowance there. All right, so I'll mark my that line 4 inches. We'll come to the chest line, mark 4 inches. Then you remove half inch on both sides for the dart leg, and you connect. Okay. Okay, so we will continue. Yeah, we come down at the neckline by 1.5 inch. Then we'll connect. So let's not forget to add our sewing allowance to the shoulder line. All right. So at the back, it's also going to be having a queen hand neckline style. So I will still have to come in here by um 3 inches as well. Sorry, 2.5 inches as well. Okay. So I'm going to come in here by 2.5 inch from here. So I'll connect it. Okay. So it's going to have a cut here. That's at the um, armhole depth. Let's extend it, okay? So we have our queen hand neckline style already, but how do we connect it to the button here? So this is what we are going to be doing. Because it's going to be having a button here. It's going to be having a button here. So it's either I curve it this way or I slant it as well. I don't know if you understand that. It's either I curve it like this or I slant it. So better still, okay, let us curve. So it will meet up with our queen hand neckline, okay? So we won't be needing this anymore. I don't know if you understand that. Okay, so let me quickly cover up that spot so it won't be confusing us. Okay, so this here is going to be a button, and this is our new neckline, and this is going to be our zipper. Our zipper is going to stop here, to be stopping here. So at this point, we'll proceed to the circumference measurement. I'm working with round armhole of nine. I'll be using 9.5 here. I've already divided it by 2. Okay, so the round waist is 34 divided by 2, 8.5, plus 1 inch for the dart. That would be 9.5. So we have it here, which I'll be connecting. Remember, this already have a sewing allowance. So this is our back. Okay, I'll go ahead, add my sewing allowance, and then cut it out.
So this is how our inner corset will look like. You'll see the link in the comment section of how I drafted, sew, and then attach it to the corset. Okay, so we'll be moving to the sewing proper. So let's continue with our sewing right now, because I'll be showing you a few details how I sew or what we have just drafted. Okay, but before then, please remember to subscribe, like, share, and drop your
Is the back. Remember to add your sewing allowance here. 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 Okay, so here is the back, and here is the front. This is the front. This is the front here. This is our um queen hand neckline together with yoke. You can call it a yoke. All right. So remember to add your sewing allowance here too. Add your sewing allowance here. All right. This will be cut on fold. Okay. In with, I cut out the front pattern. This front. So I'm working with a beaded lace. So I'll be showing you techniques of working on a beaded lace. Okay. So first and foremost, I'll be working on the lining. Okay. The underlay. I mean, this is the underlay. Okay. All right. And I have the lining too. This is the lining. This is the lining. I added a stay to the lining, and I also added a stay to the underlay of the lace. Okay. So after you must have done this, you turn it to the other side. So this is where I will be creating my boning channel. All right, I'll be rolling out my boning channel. So at first, let's mark out the center. So we'll move from the center. The space in between each boning channel, I'm going to be making it 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch. Okay. On this side too, the same. 1.5 inch. All right. Because I want all the bony channel to be directed to the center. So here I have 3 lines. So I'll be creating 3 lines here too. So which means at the upper side, I'll let there be one at my that line, which is 4 inches. You remember, 4 inches. Another one here. So I'll connect it to one of the lines here. So it will definitely be on the second line, or better still, sorry, I won't be making use of that. I'll connect it to the first one here. Okay, we'll move from here. The space in between can now be 2 inches. 2 inches. So here we go this way. So the same thing here. This side 2 inches, 2 inches. So this will be connected to the first one here. And this will be here. And this will be here. So the one here, I'll go to the waistline. This is the waistline. Okay. So I'll first of all remove my 1.5 inch here for the sewing allowance. This is for the sewing allowance. So I'll measure what is here and divide it into two. I have 5 inch here. So 2.5. So I'll connect it to the waistline. Like this. So definitely when I'm fixing my bony, I'll first of all fix this before I place this on top of it. So I'll do the same for this side as well. When you are done ruling your line, this is the Regilene bony. I'm making use of half-inch Regilene bony, half-inch. When you place it on your half-inch, you see it's the same. Okay, so I'll make use of the Regilene bony. So when fixing it, make sure you are leaving half-inch here and like 3/4 inch here. Half-inch at the top, 3/4 inch, like this. Then you cut, you leave like 3/4 inch here. So you cut. So I'm going to fix it the same way on all the lines. Fix your boning channel. So the next is for you to put your plastic boning inside each channel, just like this. You push it through. Once it's reached the extreme end, you pull it back a bit, cut it off here, and use this to push it in. So we have it like this. So you'll be doing the same for all the channels. So having done that, this is our front. I'll take my lining. This is my lining. Right side facing each other. Okay? Right side facing each other. Then I'll go and stitch the side by half-inch. Both sides, like you see, and then I turn it over. This is what we are having. Okay, so you make sure at this point you will set it. Make sure the lining and the underlay aligns. So I set it and I have SS here. You can see I pin it all through the bust, the back up area, because it's very important it aligns. So whatever excess you have, you'll be cutting it off. Okay, so the lining, I make sure it aligns at the tip here. I have excess, so I'll be cutting it off. I'll be trimming it off. All right, and I also have excesses around here. I'll be trimming it off as well. All right, so I'm done trimming it, and we have everything aligned now. Next, we will be taping the hemming line. We'll be taping it together. So I'll be using a tape like this. I'll stitch it together like this, and I'll turn it to top stitch on it. So this is it. I have stitched all the hemline. All right, you see, look at the back. So we are still having a very neat job. Okay, so at this point, I will now be adding my lace. I will be adding my lace at this point. So I'll be using wool gum. So I'll go ahead and use my gum on every part of it. So just be generous with it. So I'm actually using this method to cover up the appearance of boning. So it won't be visible that it is a corset. Remember, I told you the even at the back, it's going to be inner. Because the lacing at the back will be inner. Okay. So you have to be generous with your gum around the bust area as well. I'll still be removing the pin later on. Okay. So now I will be placing my lace on it like this. I've trimmed it out. So this is what we are having. You then flip to the other side, okay, and add your gum to the hem line. Add your gum to the hem line to hold it in place. Okay. Then you start folding it like this. You fold it. It's just to hold it in place because I'll be top stitching on it. Okay, so once you are sure it is properly fixed, I'll turn it here. Then I'll go and trace this stitch and top stitch on it. Okay, I'll be stop stitching on it. Now, to work with beaded material, like I said, the first is the technique I've showed you, because you can see this, we have to put the bead on it at the last minute. So it helps in reducing the stress. Then another thing is this presser foot. Okay, the bead presser foot. It also works well. It works well. But it works with industrial machine. I don't know about manual machine. So I have few for sale. Okay, it's just 10,000 naira. In case you're interested, you can drop your me in the comment section and show your interest there. I have few one for sales. Okay, 10,000 naira. Okay, and 6,000 and six in dollar $6. Okay, so I stitch, I top stitch it. So this is sewn already. Now I have to lose one side of this because that is where I'll be using um to turn the fabric. So the next is for us to add our cup. If I didn't lose in this place, there's no way I'll be able to work with this cup area. All right, so this is for the lining. Let's start with the front. This is for the front. I'll be stitching this with it this way. So it's going to go around. You make sure it's aligned properly. You can see that. Okay, so I'll be stitching this cup with this with this. Then we'll go to the lining. The lining as well. This will be facing outside. Okay, so I'll be stitching it like this. Likewise, this side, I'll be stitching it. So let me show you one of how I'll be stitching properly. Okay, so here it is. Just make sure you first of all test run it. You place it like this. Go around first to see. So you can see we have SS here. So you adjust it to be at the center. Or better still, mark the center Mark the center of this bra cup. This is the center. I'll notch it. Here is it. I'll mark the center of this as well. Here is it. Okay. So now, center to center. Okay. Then you stitch this way. You also go this way. Center to side as well. Hope you see that. So that is the way we'll be stitching. You can see it, but we are yet to fix it with the lining. I fix it with the line. I mean, I'm yet to lay it properly. Before we can lay it properly, so I have to open this side. I have to open one side, like I said earlier. So I'll be turning. What we wanted to do is to add our queen hand neckline, or you can call it the yoke. Okay. So to work with that, this is our queen hand neckline. I've drafted it out. So this is it. As you can see, I had to let some design, make some design out of it. Okay, so this is our pin hand neckline. We'll be fixing it, but to fix it, we'll need to turn it inside out. So first and foremost, center to center, center to center, and you pin it. Center to center, and you pin it. All right, okay. So now, it takes wisdom to fix it. But to fix this queen hand, we need to refer back to our pattern. This is our pattern. Our pattern, right? It is meant to be like this. So we'll measure it. For it to align, we have 5 inches here from the sewing allowance to where it meets the meat is 5 inches. Okay. So here too, you can see that 5 inches. Okay, so that is what we'll be measuring. All right, so you measure 5 inches. Same way, 5 inches from the sewing allowance. You notch the 5 inches. Okay. The same with the lining. All right, so it has to be the same. Okay, so you come to your queen hand neckline. Then you also measure 5 inches. So it must align. And you notch it. So then you fix. So it's going to be like this. You let where you notch aligns with each other. Place your lining on it in the same manner. Then you stitch the 3 together down to the center front, and you do the same for the other side. Attach the queen hand neckline. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Hope you see that. Okay, so at this stage, I've sealed up mine, but before I seal it up, I make sure I put enough hemming gum in between the lining and the lace itself, so that the lining can glue together with the front, especially at the bust. Okay, so after you've done that, then you seal up the side where we opened before. Okay, so then we'll remold like I showed you here earlier. Just remold it. So I've molded the bust. This is the inside. So you can see there is no form of stitch around there. Okay, so now at this point I'll mark out my waistline. My waistline is 17, right from the under bust 14. So my waistline 17, I'll mark it out. 17. So I'll rule it. just to make sure it is straight. Okay, so after marking,
So after marking, we'll have to do our skirt. So I quickly draft it, mark out your starting your waistline, your hip line, and your knee line. All right. Then you mark out the circumference measurement on it and connect it like I'm doing right now. All right. So after marking your circumference measurement, use your curve ruler to connect it. Okay. So now from the knee line, we will have to be spreading it if you are making a A shape skirt. But if you are making a straight skirt, whatever you have on that your round knee is what you also measure at the hem line, the down part. But if it is a A shape, you spread it the way I'm spreading it, right from the knee line, okay, to get your A shape. All right, that's why I'm slanting it. So it all depends on the design you are making. For this one, I'm making a A shape. Please permit me to use another material to explain this the skirt part to you, all right? Because we are working on a white material. I'm using this gray to explain to you. Okay, so I'm now adding my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch, and I will roll out. After rolling, I cut it out. So it's very easy to make. Very, very easy to make. Okay, just make sure you take your measurement properly. All right. Like I said, this is an A shape, but if you want it straight, make it measure the your round knee measurement on also on the hip line. All right. Sorry for my hand covering the camera here. I need to cut it out. Okay. So um after must have cut it out, we are still going to use this front panel because I'm cutting out the front panel now. I'm going to be using this front to cut out the back. So for the back, put your material on fold, mark out 1.5 inches for the sewing allowance, okay, and place your front on it to use it to cut out the back. After cutting it out, make sure you cut the lining the same way as well too. Then you go and stitch it all round by the side and by the down part as well. Okay, so before I now use it to cut out the lace. Okay, so this is an escape route for starting with the lace. Okay, so after you have cut out the real measurement, start making use of your gum. All right, I use uhu gum here. Okay, just follow the way I'm doing it. Be generous with your gum. Okay, so place it, make sure you are smoothing it out properly so there won't be any rumple on it. All right. So what I forgot to tell you, when you were cutting out your lace, make sure you have like 1.5 or 1 inches excess at the hemming line because you are going to be folding it in like I'm doing right now. So that's the only place, the only the hemming line that will have the excess, but the side is the same measurements with the lining. That is after sewing it. Okay. You leave it for some time to dry up, then you go and stitch the hem line. We are not relying on the gum alone.
this is the skirt part, this is the back. So I'll be attaching it in this manner. I'll place it across like this and I'll stitch it. So after stitching it, I'll put it aside. Then we'll move to the back. So this is our back pattern. After joining it, this is what we are going to be having. Okay, so you first of all join this one, join this with the lining as well. Then you connect them together. So this is what we are having for our back. All right, so at this stage, we'll now join it to the skirt, to the skirt block of the back. Like I said, the link to how I made the skirts will be in the comment section. So I'll be joining each one. This will be for this. I'll stitch it. And this will be for this. I'll stitch it. This is our zipper line. Okay. So I'll stitch it here. Stitch it here. And then back. Everything is all set. So the next is for us to add our front. This is our front. This is our front. So I'll be joining it by the shoulder and by the side. Then I'll add my sleeve.
So the very last phase is for us to add our back, the corset back for the corset lacing. You know it's going to be hidden. So what I'm doing right now is I'm measuring 1 inches away from the zipper. Okay, so on both sides, just mark 1 inches for just to create space. All right, so which we'll be using to snatch. Okay, so now I'm measuring my hip line. Remember, I went up by 2 inches. So I need to first of all recognize my hip line, go up by 2 inches, which is 24 inches, and mark that place. So that is where the length of the corset back will be laying. It shouldn't pass that side. So I'm setting it on my 1 inches away and also on the 24 inches length. Okay, so after you have gotten that correctly, just use a pin to hold it by the side, and that is exactly what you are going to be doing for both sides. So when you are done, when you are through placing it correctly, okay, and it is properly pinned, just turn it to the other side and trace the stitch which you use to sew on the side. Okay, so just retrace it, and this is what we are having. If you are yet to subscribe, kindly subscribe. All right, and hit on the notification button so that you won't miss out on any of our tutorial. All right, so this is very beautiful. Look at the Queen Anne neckline, the bust gauging, everything is standing out. Everything is standing out. Okay, so the difference with the design we are following is just the peplon area. So if you so wish to add your peplon area, so you know how to do that, you just cut it out like a flare